Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's so nice to officially meet you.
You too. So fun.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I started this show back in March of 2020 when COVID shut the world down because I wanted people to just have a place that they can come for joy and hope and inspiration to just have fun. And you bring all of that and more, so it's so great to have you here.
Aw, thanks so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. And for all the fans tuned in, I have your questions. I'll be asking some at the end of the interview, so stick around for that. And man, we have a lot to get to, so I'm going to dive in, okay?
Great.
All right. So first of all, the big return last night, the episode. We've got to start with that. You were reunited with Jesse Williams. It was such a good episode. The ending was particularly amazing, which I'm going to let you talk about. But what was it like reuniting with Jesse? And were you happy with how that storyline unfolded?
Yes, of course. I've always been such a big fan of J-April, and I've always wanted J-April to be Endgame. So to get to come back and play again on the stages specifically, because last year when I returned, I'll say probably the storyline was more juicy and more meaty for the two of us to play. Just we had much more to do in the episode last season. But this one was really fun because I got to be on the stages with all my cast and my crew and in the ER and, out in the breezeway and all that fun stuff. And it really did feel like a beautiful homecoming.
Did you have any say in how your storyline was going to go, or were you just completely surprised?
I was totally surprised. But I will say last year when we came back, Jesse and I had a different idea for how we wanted them to walk off to Boston that was not originally pitched to us, which then I think led to the moment that you got to see last night. So I didn't, when they pitched it to me, they said, we'd love to have you come back for the 400th episode, and we think you're going to be really happy.
Okay, all right. What was your pitch, if you would be open to sharing?
Well, last year, the pitch for my return to help Jesse leave the show was that he was going to convince, I was going to be pregnant with Matthew's baby, and he was going to help deliver the baby. There was a storm, and then I was going to agree to bring my whole family with him to Boston, and that we were all going to be in Boston together. And Jesse and I pitched to the writers, we think the audience would really love it if there's hope for J-April. So that's how it turned into the Matthew and April breaking up, and now they're being fingers crossed for New Horizons. So that's what happened last year. This year they pitched exactly what we saw in the script.
Oh my God. It was so good, this episode. That kiss. What did that moment feel like for you? The fandom went crazy. They were like, you have to bring up the kiss.
Oh, yes. I knew the fandom would go crazy because they've been just begging for J-April Endgame for years. Since J-April got divorced, which was, I think someone tweeted at me, that was 6 years ago that they got divorced. And they're like, we prevailed. We made it happen. All of our passion. And I will say, the audience has a very strong voice, and there's so much passion in the J-April fandom that it does make an impact on the storytelling. We all feel it. We know what people are asking for. So yeah, it was really fun to be live tweeting last night, and then for that moment, I think my heart was actually pounding as the moment was like coming up, because I was like, what are they going to do? What are they going to say? It was fun. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, well, the reactions were incredible, and you and Jesse over the course of the series have had such amazing scenes together. Are there a few that are super special to you that you'll forever hold close, that are some of your favorites?
Yeah, I will say probably the whole J-April the movie episode was one of my favorite things I got to do on the show. It was the first time Jesse and I got to really kind of take the spotlight and have a whole episode dedicated to us. Yeah. And we were outside of the hospital for a lot of it, so it felt like we were shooting this really special mini movie, and really getting to dive into our storylines. We had this one 15-page scene, which is an entire act of the episode that was so much fun to shoot. We just loved that. So I will say that's probably my favorite. Although I will also say that all